All right, so here we are. Heading down the road again. And why aren't you being cleaned up? So it's getting close to being dark, so I may not be able to go very far. Not really sure what I'm allowed to do at this particular point in time. Yeah, it's getting darker sooner and sooner, so it's getting close to 7, and already it's suspiciously darker than I thought it would be. And there's no clouds, or not much clouds. So maybe I have to get in a topic, or I have to come up with a new topic, a shorter topic. Okay, let's try to talk about the some articles I read recently about batteries. And one of the cool things about batteries is that they're constantly improving it. So one of the things I want to do is take a trip with my e-bike and have one battery, so I have 112 pounds of battery that are less maybe. That'll take me 100 miles with the method that I drive. Not just for the perfect person, for somebody like me driving. I've done a little research into the advancements in the e-bike batteries and learned a few things. One of the current trends in e-bike batteries, their innovation, is to increase energy density. E-bike manufacturers have focused on squeezing more power into smaller, lighter batteries. And want that because the lighter it is, the better you can go. So that helps the distance too, just by being lighter. 12 to 13 pounds is what we're currently looking at. So hopefully we can get down to like 5 pounds. That would be cool. Although I haven't seen anything that says they could do that. The lighter ones has basically been advancements in the lithium-ion battery technology. If they can enhance the energy density, e-bikes can travel further on a single charge without adding extra weight. So they've been switching between graphite and silicon does greater energy density by up to 30%. So this will allow us to have the longer rides. So many things in a road. And this is newly paved, and I'm still running across stuff. I mean, look at those cracks that are in the road that we can see already. It's only been down here a few weeks. I don't even think it's been down 6 weeks yet. It's already getting cracks in the road. Sad. Another significant trend that they are working on with batteries is their charging times. The ability to quickly recharge an e-bike is crucial, mainly for convenience, turnaround time, especially if you're like trying to go long distance and recharging as you go. You would want the faster charging time. So they're working on that up to 50% faster right now. Yeah, this is lots of traffic. This may take a bit. They have started working on enhanced safety features, which has always been a trend because you don't want your battery burning up or blowing up. So especially when you start charging it faster, you want to have good safety features. So the modern e-bike batteries now come equipped with sophisticated thermal management systems that prevent overheating. They can monitor voltage, current, and temperature to detect any abnormalities that may show up, which significantly reduces the risk of any type of accidents. These safety features have become standard, especially will increase as e-bikes continue to gain customers, as in the seniors and other family members. Another aspect that we can look at is smart integration. This is basically, you would say, integrating the bike system with like your phone or other smartphone apps, even your helmet. So this allows the riders to monitor the battery health, the estimated range that they have, and even locate charging stations. Now, one of the reasons I have a tough time trying to plan out routes is finding what type of charging stations I can use. So I watch a lot of e-bike riders as they take longer trips, like a 600-mile trip, and how do they find places to stop and charge. That's always interesting to me as I try to sit back and figure that out. And a lot of people are stopping at restaurants and eating while they charge their battery. So that's, well, I don't really want to do it that way. I want to have a different way besides that. So they are looking at different ways to do this. Say some systems give you preventive maintenance ideas and hoping they can fix problems before they actually occur. So far, the batteries are trying to make eco-friendly and sustainable. They're focusing on recyclability of the batteries, and so current trends are showing a push towards using materials that are easier to recycle, reducing the environmental impact. Some manufacturers are exploring the use of second life batteries, those that are no longer suitable for an e-bike but can be used in other places, such as energy storage systems for a home. Now the future is coming, so we do have some future ideas here. One of the most exciting developments on the horizon is solid-state batteries. These are not in major use right now, but unlike the lithium-ion batteries that we use now, solid-state batteries use solid electrolytes. This change could lead to increased energy density, which is something we talked about that they're trying to accomplish, and potentially doubling the range of e-bikes without increasing the battery size or the weight. So I'm looking forward to this, but it's not here now. The solid-state batteries are expected to charge faster and be safer. So they eliminate the flammability issue that we associated with the liquid electrolytes. Still in the research phase, but could be commercially available within the next 2 to 3 years, if we're lucky. I'll be looking forward to seeing that change when it happens. Extending the battery lifespan. This would be important because your battery only has so many cycles it can go through. That means charging cycles from when you ride it and deplete it to it recharges. You usually have between 500 and 1,000 cycles that it can go through. They're working on designs now that's going to extend that to probably 2,000. So doubling the lifespan of your battery, or more than doubling. So this will decrease the cost of ownership of the of e-bike, since you won't have to replace the battery as often. So this will be better for people that use e-bikes, such as the delivery service for e-bikes, but it's also important for us. They're looking at bringing wireless charging to the e-bike. Currently, the e-bike charging requires a physical connection. You have to actually plug it in, and that can wear out when you plug things in and out, it wears it out. So this will wear it out after time. So they want to get wireless charging pads that could be installed in like public places, in your garage, or even in now this is hard to believe, but even in bike lanes, so that you're actually charging your bike while you're riding down the road. Wouldn't that be awesome? So I'm not sure how it would work exactly, but they have plans where they're talking about that as a possibility. This will probably be more for the urban users, where they have a specific lane where a bunch of bike riders will be going down, and they implement that. That'd be kind of interesting anyway. I'd like to see it working. They're looking at e-bike batteries becoming more modular. So allowing the user, which would be us, to actually add or remove battery cells. Something that's a little bit dangerous now, and they recommend you not doing it. In fact, most of them have a little thing saying, don't do it. And there's good reason. That's one of the reasons that battery fires are created, with people messing around with that. So I understand it. But they're looking at it that it might be something that they'll be able to do in the future, and set it up so it's modular, so you can pull something out and push it back in and be perfectly safe. I've seen this several times, not that particular thing, but this next topic, in which people use solar panels in order to recharge their batteries. They're looking at ideas where the changing out of the solar panels, you can have your solar panel and be recharging constantly as a feature that's on a bike. They haven't got it totally set up correctly where it's actually functional as of today, but in 3 years, maybe a little bit more, this could be something that your e-bike will come with. So I kind of feel like I talked about batteries about as much as I can. I don't have tremendous knowledge of batteries, so that's the reason I think I'll just stop talking about the batteries since I kind of run out of things to talk about with the batteries. But I think we got a good future looking for batteries. If they end up doubling the battery life, end up doubling the cycling techniques, giving you double the battery life so it can last twice as far and recharges 50% quicker. Yeah, I think that traveling longer distance on your bike will be a reality, and that's within 2 to 3 years. So I look forward to those. I'm not sure if all those things will come true, because a lot of these places I was looking at are estimating when the technology will be good enough, because it's not currently there. But I look forward. It'll be some of the good things coming down. So hopefully I'll get to see those things. Something about my personal life. Not that y'all are going, whoa, we didn't want to know your personal life. But one of the things that's happening in my personal life is I'm looking at getting a puppy. So I'm hoping to introduce the puppy to y'all in a few weeks. He won't be able to ride my e-bike right away. I'm hoping that I can teach him to ride in a basket on the back of the e-bike. I don't know how to do that yet, so I don't know how possible it is for me to teach a dog to do that. I may have to take him to school or something. But it's kind of a goal, longer term goal. I mean, he's only going to be a few weeks old when I get him, so it's going to be a while before I can do anything. But I can show him to you. and maybe some pictures as he grows up. My other dog died just a few weeks ago. Uh, he was over 20 years old, so he had a good life. Uh, and he was pretty healthy for most of his life. Here towards the last 2 or 3 years, he's been mostly blind and hard to hear, but he gave it his best shot. He never gave up. He always tried very hard. He always found the food bowl. That was never something that, even though you couldn't see very well, he could find food. And he always seemed to have a good sniffer. He could still sniff that things out pretty well. So one of the things I kind of like to do is, maybe if I go down here for the next 5 or 10 minutes, is spend a little bit of time telling you stories about my old dog. And some of the things he used to do that I think might be kind of funny to review as kind of going away for my dog. And he does so many funny things to me. I'll try to think of a few, 2 or 3, because it didn't take long to tell each story. So if I want to try to take up another 15 minutes of bike time, I'll have to come up with, I don't know, 10 stories. I don't know if I can come up with that many. But let's see what I can do. The first day I got the dog, he was probably only about 8 weeks old. He was tiny. Brought him home and was all excited for him to explore the house. So I sat down in my chair in my living room and put him on the floor. And he just sat there. And I said, oh, well, maybe he's like scared. Let me give him a minute. So I sat and waited. I kept waiting. After a minute, he just curled up there on the floor and went to sleep. And I was like, this dog's going to be a very calm dog. He's not going to. So it turns out that, yeah, he's spent a lot of time sleeping in his life. A couple days later, I took him to work. So we've done a couple of things together, but, you know, I fed him a couple of times and I took him to work because everybody at work wanted to see him and what he was like. So I took him and set him down on the floor in my office. And people were going, oh, come on. They picked him up and carried him back to their little office area. And I was thinking, well, that'd be okay because he's just out there having fun with people. So I figured that's okay. A little bit later, I see him come running down the hallway with his ears down, running, and he runs up behind me and hides behind my leg. And the other people said, well, what got into him? And I said, I guess he's expecting me to protect him. So I picked him up, and he was all happy. And so it was like kind of like that day when I kind of decided I must be his protector. He sees me as somebody that protects him, which was kind of endearing to me at the time. A few days later, I was outside in the backyard. We were just playing around. I was throwing a ball, trying to get him to chase it. And he wasn't much interested in chasing balls. He's not that type of dog. And so he was sitting there next to my foot. And it was cloudy, but I didn't think there was much about it being cloudy. Well, all of a sudden, a big thunderclap took off. Went boom. It was very loud. And I was going, wow, what's that? So I'm looking up in the sky, trying to find where the rain's coming from and whether or not I needed to go inside, because it wasn't raining where I was at. And I didn't see anything, so I went to go back to the dog to do something, play with him, and he wasn't next to me. I looked around. He was nowhere. I searched the backyard. I went into the yard to the other end. Didn't see him. So I go, well, what happened to my dog? He was right next to me. So I went in the house, went through the house to the front yard, figuring maybe somehow he got out of the backyard, but he didn't have much time. So I went out the front yard and called his name, though I'm not sure he knew his name at the point. And I didn't see him, couldn't see anything anywhere. So I said, well, let me go back to the backyard and look again. So I went back to the backyard, and And when I did, he was just walking around in the backyard. And when I got there, he comes running up to me. And I'm like, where have you been? Where did you go? So I don't know for sure where he went, but I think he figured out a way to get underneath the house. The door to underneath my house was slightly ajar, so I'm thinking, maybe he squeezed through there and got underneath the house into the little basement area. So I don't know, maybe. So that was a mystery to me. Still is a bit of a mystery. But that's the first time, his very first storm. And, strangely after that, storms never bothered him. The first time he ran for his life, everybody for himself type attitude. He says, I'm not hanging around here, I'm out of here. However, there was, he never cared about thunder. Thunder could happen all the time after that. Fireworks, he never cared anymore. That was the only time he ever cared. One of the things I did with him, which turns out probably I won't do this for my new puppy, is that I trained him to tell me when he wants to go outside. And so whenever he shook, I went and picked him up and carried him outside to use the bathroom. Well, eventually he decided that shaking means I'm coming to take him outside. So he would walk up to me and shake. And so I would shake his whole body. His whole body would just shake his whole body. And I would get up, pick him up, and carry him outside, and then he would use the bathroom. So he ended up being trained, getting potty trained by that method. And it worked well. I always recognized the signal. It made a lot of noise when he shook. So I always knew that he needed to go outside. However, I didn't really consider what this would mean to other people. So I had to go out of town for a couple of days for work, and I asked somebody if they would take care of him. And they go, yeah, we'll take care of him. He's such a sweet dog. And so I put him there, and after I came back a couple of days, they said, your dog isn't very housebroken. I go, oh. I said, I'm sorry. He said, at my house, he always goes outside, so I didn't know. Maybe it's just because it's a different house. He didn't realize that you had an outside or something. And I said, I don't know. Anyway, we were talking, and they said, oh, yeah, we did notice that he had this odd behavior, and we're wondering if something's wrong with him. I go, oh, what's this odd behavior? He said he would walk up to us, and then there's just start shaking like crazy. And then we would go, what's wrong with you? And then he'd stare at us for a minute, and then he starts shaking like crazy again. Well, I started laughing, and they go, what's wrong? I said, that's his signal that he wants to go outside to use the bathroom. I said, I forgot to tell y'all that. And they were like, oh. So he was trying to get taken outside, just that other humans didn't know the communication thing that I taught them. So, yeah, that was kind of sad. that was kind of sad. It was the fact that I didn't tell him. I should have told him. One time, I was trying to give the dog a treat. He had done something good, and I thought I'd reach in and grab a treat. And it's got a car coming up here. I'm going to get to the far right side so he has no trouble passing me. Yeah. Wait, he's turning. What the? What was that guy doing? He tried to just hit me. Did y'all see that? He pulled right into. And he started raising his hands up and flipping them around like it was my fault. Maybe he was saying he was sorry. I don't know. I'm looking at the rearview mirror now to make sure he's not trying to sneak up behind me and hit me. What was that about? I don't think I ever had a car just come right for me. And when I tried to dodge out of the way, he turned also. And then he hit his brakes. Yeah, Well, the experiences you get on a bike, you never know. Just riding along, telling stories. The next thing you know, somebody's trying to run you over. And he turned directly to me. He turned and actually headed towards me and sped up. I'll have to rewatch this, but that's what it looked like to me. That's what I'm remembering anyways, that he turned towards me and sped up. Huh. That's strange. All right, let's see. We were talking about my dog. Oh, yeah. We were talking about eating time one time. We were trying to eat. I wanted to eat. And I was getting a treat for the dog. And so I handed him a treat. One of those roll treats that has like a little cookie type thing. And so I handed it to him and he spit it out on the floor. And I was thinking, what's with that? You like food? So I picked it up and looked at it and I said, there's nothing wrong with this. And so I handed it to him and he took it from me again. And when he took it, he spit it back out on the floor. And I'm like, what's wrong with you, dog? And so I picked it back up and was sitting there and I was looking at him and he was like begging, I want some food. And I said, well, I have some food. I got you a snack. I go, okay, let me give this to you. So I gave it to him again. And the third time I gave it to him, he spit it out of his mouth and then he whacked it with his foot and it went flying underneath the refrigerator. And I was like, okay, I think I get the hint now. You may want a treat, but you definitely don't want that one. That was so funny to me. One of the things that he always does is that he always gets 23 hours after his meal is when he starts asking for his next meal. He knows he's asking early, but he still wants it. I give in to him sometimes because he's so cute. I was in my room one time and all of a sudden I was laying in bed, sleeping, having a good time, and the dog walks over. He sleeps on the far edge of my bed. And he got up and walked over to where I was and whacked me in the face with his paw. Woke me up. It was like he was saying, okay, Dad, you're snoring. Stop it. Wake up. It took me a second or so to realize what was going on. And after I woke up, he turned around, walked back over to his bed, and laid back down. Oh well, I'll miss my dog. He's such a good dog. So, anyway, if you want to hear more stories or more of me, make sure you subscribe and like and subscribe. And I'll see y'all next time. All right, bye.